Former Chief Minister of Delhi and National Convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, has written to the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat and asked 5 questions to him while alleging misuse of central agencies. In his letter, Kejriwal wrote that in June of 2023, Narendra Modi accused a leader of a scam of rupees 70,000 crores and formed the government with the same leader a few days later. He posed yet another question to Bhagwat that didn't he feel pain seeing all this? Now, here are of course the 5 questions which have been part of the letter that Kejriwal wrote to Mohan Bhagwat. The way PM Modi is breaking parties and toppling elected governments by luring or threatening them with ED and CBI, is this correct? There are many cases when corrupt leaders of other parties were inducted into the BJP. Did you or RSS workers imagine such a BJP? Don't you feel pain seeing all this? BJP is born out of the RSS's womb. It is the RSS's responsibility to ensure that the BJP doesn't go on the wrong path. Did you advise it against pursuing such policies? JP Nadda said during the Lok Sabha polls that BJP does not need support from the RSS now. I want to ask Bhagwatji, how did you feel when Nadda gave this statement? RSS and BJP established the 75 years retirement age rule. This was used to retire senior BJP leaders like Lal Krishna Advani and Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi. Now, Amit Shah says that the rule does not apply to Prime Minister Modi. Do you agree with this? And to speak more on this, let me now go across to my colleague Brijesh Pandey, who's live from the newsroom. Brijesh, very, very strong questions there. But would you agree that underlying all this is his own kind of what I call a political masterstroke of sitting out and asking Atishi to take over?
Well, Sudha, this is vintage Arvind Kejriwal. If you remember, ever since from 2014 when Prime Minister assumed office and, was on a roller coaster ride as far as electoral politics is concerned, Arvind Kejriwal was one of the first few politicians who decided to take Prime Minister head on. And this again is an example of continuity as far as Arvind Kejriwal versus Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned. Him raising these 5 questions to RSS, which is the, the guardian, the apex body of the Bharatiya Janata Party, is going to be very, very embarrassing. This is more of an embarrassing politics rather than anything else. It is embarrassing because there are many who believe that what is sauce for the goose should also be sauce for the gander. It cannot be one set of rule applies only to one section of party and not to others. So when Arvind Kejriwal asks Mohan Bhagwat that whether the 75-year rule will apply to Prime Minister Narendra Modi or not, or whether they agree with the policy of using ED and CBI to tackle opposition parties, or what they have to say about JP Nadda saying that they do not need RSS. These are the questions which have not been asked for the first time. But Arvind Kejriwal consistently raising it. He's not the first time he has done it. He did it a couple of days back also. Is a list of questionnaires, is a list of narration which is going to be extremely embarrassing for the Bharatiya Janata Party. So Arvind Kejriwal is now, after relinquishing the throne and putting Atishi as the Chief Minister of Delhi, is now on a vintage Arvind Kejriwal, what we used to see him during the course of election. And this is exactly the kind of Arvind Kejriwal which we'll be witnessing for the next 6 months till the elections in Delhi is concerned.
But Brijesh, I see a lot of hypocrisy in this. You cannot possibly, like you said, sauce for the goose and cannot be for the gander. But I'm saying you can't possibly keep blaming the RSS for its sectarian communal politics, and on the other hand, make it the oracle to ask it questions. What has Arvind Kejriwal got to do with the asking RSS the questions when you first run it to the ground? I mean, what is he trying to do here?
Well, so as I was saying, I completely agree that, when it comes to probity and, making sure that your conduct is like Caesar's wife above suspicion, politicians almost of all hues have a very dual standards. They have a very exacting standard when it comes to you, and they have a completely different standard when it comes to themselves. Arvind Kejriwal is also no exception. So nobody's trying to, either defend or try to, send a narrative that what Arvind Kejriwal is doing is right. But if you look at it as a pure political play, Arvind Kejriwal writing letters not to or asking questions not to Bharatiya Janata Party leaders or not to Bharatiya Janata Party senior leaders like Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi, but asking RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat these kind of questions is something which will gain a lot of traction. People will be interested, and there'll be a section of people will be interested to see whether what Mohan Bhagwat has to say when it comes to 75 years rule as far as rest of the BJP leaders are concerned, whether what Mohan Bhagwat has to say on these particular set of questions. It is not going to be anything other than embarrassing for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that is the reason why the Aam Aadmi Party has this time post Arvind Kejriwal making Atishi the chief minister is that he has upped the ante. Now he is not asking questions to the BJP, he is asking questions to the ideologue of the BJP, which is RSS, and this is going to be very, very embarrassing for the RSS and also for the BJP.